The Hudson Valley is a special region in New York and home to many farms, towns, and small businesses. Among them is Tuthilltown Spirits in Gardiner, New York. Tuthilltown produces alcohol from local grains and fruit.
Tuthilltown employee Cordell's stall spotted us on the road and invited us to Gardiner to tour the company's distillery and taste some of their products.
Ooh, that's real good.
Cordell talked with us afterwards about his company and their relationship with farmers in the area.
Could you just say your name and say where
Cordell
we are?
Stall. We are at Tuthilltown Spirits. We are about 7 years old now. We're a rather new industry. Gardiner, New York has been a community for, gosh, I think before the 1900s. Mostly agricultural in its base. These new businesses are beginning to pop up though, and I like it a lot.
Could you talk a little bit about the connections with farmers in the area and what kind of products you're getting from farmers?
Spirits primarily come from organic bases, fruits, grains. Last year with the floodings, it was a big wake-up call for everybody. I have a dear friend who's an organic farmer. He almost lost his farm. I have other dear friends who did lose their farms. That's the first time that's ever happened because of the flooding. If I have farmers who can't grow grain because it's too wet or there's flooding, what do I make it out of? How do I keep my idea of a local economy going? I won't be able to. I'm going to have to go even further afield for my product to make our spirits. And what does that mean? That means usage of gasoline and time and all the other things that we don't really want to put cost on the bottle for. One of the biggest challenges for people right now is trying to figure out how to grow things in this new challenging environment, which means most of the rules are off. There are no more things you can count on. Well, the apples are now flowering, so it's time to plant whatever. You can't do that because of what's going on. Even this summer, it's oddly strange. My son was doing eel counting in the Hudson River this year. Eels are great. They are a way of monitoring the health of our world. They start in the Sargasso Sea, they come all the way up through the Hudson River to mate, and then they go back away. Well, you got to count those little eels that are coming up. This year, the numbers were off the charts, higher than it's ever been before. And you think, oh, that's great for the world. It's not. The reason that they're higher is because of how warm the world is. That's a wake-up call. It's about things growing out of control right now. Why is that going on? I think it's climate change. Do I think it's human-caused? Yeah, I do. I do. And I think it's something of this time. I don't believe that there have been other times of climate change experienced like we're experiencing right now. And I blame us. And I don't know how to rally people together. I can't get a dialogue going. I can't get proper media coverage of it so I know exactly what the real problem is. I do know this. Everyone I run across is concerned about it. And everyone, to a man or woman that I talk to that's concerned about it, feels hopeless because there's nothing they can do on individual levels. The people who are above us, the governments who we rely on to make things good, they're not dealing with it. They have deniers because those deniers have businesses that are based on something that's very much hurting the world. There's only so much you can do as an individual. There really is. And to get people up in arms and really make them realize the threat that's upon us and to create actual change, that's huge, guys. That's huge. I mean, how do you get a group of people together to do that? Well, that's one of the things that you're doing. You stop relying on people telling us what we're supposed to say. You stop telling people what you think they want to hear, and you start sharing real feelings with one another about what's going on. Yeah, polar ice caps, that's terrible. I don't know a polar ice cap. I'm not near a polar ice cap. What's the real truth? The real truth is that my buddy Pete Talaferro, who owns a farm, last year his tomato plants were 7 feet underwater. He had a canoe and he could look at the $180,000 that he had lost in one day. That's real.